Hey guys, this is Marc Goldberg from Marc Vlogs Watches with another exciting episode of What the Heck is Going On with Rolex. Now, I'd like to talk to you about Rolex, Rolex pricing, and all the YouTube vloggers, gurus, friends, and foes who are making videos about what's going on with Rolex prices. Seems like we're all on the same tack at around the same time. But before we move into the meat and potatoes of this financial conundrum, dilemma, and curiosity, let's do the quick fist watch check. And here it is. Please take a quick moment and subscribe to my channel. I will really super appreciate that. And if you've already done it, thanks so much for being with me. Today, I am wearing the Rolex BLNR discontinued Batman. It has been discontinued in favor of the Batgirl. Okay, so a lot of my YouTube friends are making predictions. And a lot of the predictions are that the Rolex bubble is about to burst. And I respectfully disagree. I'm going to tell you why, my friends. It's not because I own a BLNR. In fact, let me just put the pause, hit the hold button on pricing, and just talk to you about it real quick, what happened with me in this watch. What happened, guys, was I got lucky. It was like, throwing darts, and I happened to hit the bullseye this one time. But remember, I have probably made more, well, not probably, I have made more mistakes than I have made genius moves. This one came up, and my genius move was buying it for $7,800 full kit from a Facebook friend who needed a bailout and raise some quick cash to buy a house. And I bought it at the exact moment when fair market price was anywhere from $7,800 to $8,200. That was just a quick flash in the pan, a quick moment in time. But in the history of this watch, there was that brief period of time where that was the going price range. Now, before you think I'm bragging, let me tell you, I have goofed up more decisions than I have been brilliant about. One example is I did not like my Rolex Daytona. I had a steel bezel Daytona with a white face. Didn't like it. Sold it. Took a small loss. Who takes a small loss on a steel Daytona? Oh, God. And I sold it at a time when they weren't really doing much. They weren't, yeah. They have not quite, but close to doubled since the time that I sold it. I made a video about how I hated that watch. And I will put a link to the how I hated my Daytona in the description of this video here so you can have a look and see what kind of fool I was. Okay, so I sold that off at a loss. When I bought the BLNR, I already had a black GMT. As you know, that watch was also to become discontinued and to, pop up in value. And I held on to it for about a year, and then I decided, why do I have the same watch twice, with small variations? So I sold it off. I made a little bit of money on it because when I bought it, I want to say I bought it for like $6,200. Yes, there was a time you could do that. And I sold it for $6,500. So, I made a couple of bucks. And a year and a half later, they were discontinued and popped up to, 10, 11, briefly maybe even 12. And that brings me back to the brief topic of this video, which is to say what's happening with Rolex prices. Okay, first of all, let me assure you, I don't have a crystal ball. A crystal ball is like the Eye of Sauron, or it's like the crystal ball that the Wicked Witch of the West had in The Wizard of Oz. You could see exactly what was going on. No, I don't have that. I have something much worse, but I do have something. I have the Magic 8 Ball. Those of you who are in the United States and of a certain age will remember the Magic 8 Ball. You ask it a question, you shake it up, and then it will magically give you an answer. This one says, most likely. Well, I didn't ask a question. But yeah, most likely will give you an answer. I guess it's confirming my statement. Will Rolex prices continue to rise despite minor corrections and setbacks? But in general, will they continue their upward trajectory for a long period of time? Oh, Magic 8 Ball, tell us what you think. And apparently I'm right, guys, because it says outlook good. So, look, here's the thing. This watch went nuts right after it got discontinued. It leapt from 12 to 15. Is it going to retrench and pull back before it continues its growth? Yes. Yes. Even the stock market does that. Maybe even especially the stock market does that. Now, before we go any further, let me say I am not trying to equate Rolex watches as the new Bitcoin. I'm not saying you should pull everything out of the S&P 500. I'm not saying the heck with the Dow Jones, invest in watches, Rolex specifically. Blue chip, it is kind of the blue chip. But no, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is buy a watch, wear it, enjoy it. Don't worry, listen, okay, don't drop it, don't dent it, don't smash it, but wear it. Rolex is a super robust brand of watch, and you can wear it and then you can get it cleaned up if you want to sell it off, but you should enjoy these things. Too many people buy them and shove them in the safe, and I hate that idea. Wear your watches, enjoy your watches. But I believe that Rolex has gone limited edition on purpose. They are looking to create Patek-like exclusivity and Patek-like pricing on steel sports. I think Datejusts are going to remain available. It's a fine watch. Datejust is a great watch, and every collector of Rolex has one and should have one. You should have one. I have one. Well, okay, I have a Rolex Date, so it's a 34 millimeter, not a 36, but nonetheless, that is a great profile for a watch. I have one, and so should you. Rolex took out the large steel sports cases out of all the authorized dealers globally. They put in smaller cases to hold Rolex steel sports, and they asked, or probably really informed, the authorized dealers that they were to move some of the Datejusts into those cases that previously were reserved exclusively for steel sports, and they were large. So for like 2 years, they were completely empty. Why does Rolex change the fixtures in every authorized dealer throughout the world to shrink the steel sports display units, number one, and half fill them with Datejusts? Because there's a master plan afoot, and the master plan is constant, continued, long-range manipulation of supply and demand. You heard it here first, guys. So, am I guaranteeing you that every Rolex that you could possibly buy is just going to go up, 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 and it's a safe investment? Nope. That's not at all what I'm saying. At any given time, you could buy at the high, need to convert your Rolex back into money, putting on an addition, the wife gets pregnant, worse yet, the girlfriend gets pregnant and the wife didn't know about the girlfriend. A lot of things could happen where you need your money. And so you might have bought at the high and you might need to sell during a temporary setback or correction, even of a popular model. That's kind of what I did with that blessed Daytona. So can you lose money? Who could lose money on a steel Daytona? This guy. Timing. Oh, my timing was really bad. If I would have just held on another few years, which is kind of, like short term for a long-term investment. Oh, and that's what watches really ought to be. They're not so much of an investment, but they should be a long-term commitment. Don't buy and think that, you're going to be like the pontiff and buy and sell and buy and sell and buy and sell, because you're going to lose money that way. Buy and hold. You want to keep having your $5,000. That means you need to buy and hold. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up by telling you not every single Rolex steel sports watch is destined to be a giant winner. If you look at the Explorer 2, the 40 millimeter version, although those are starting to pop up now, you could buy them only like 3 years ago for $3,500. Now they're more like $5,500. Now, will we turn around one day and find them at $10,000? Yeah, that definitely could happen, but it's such a slow upward trajectory. Sort of like the GMT, if you were in GMTs 15 years ago, you could be buying them for $5,000 and now they're, 10, 11, 12. So what I'm saying is study carefully what are the most popular watches and understand they are not likely to just go straight up like a rocket ship. They're not going to have a smooth entry like an airplane. They're probably going to go like the stock market. And when you look at the charts for the stock market, there are ups and downs. It's just that the long-term trend is up, but sometimes there are sharp dips and corrections before they begin to come up again. That's why Rolex is something that you should buy, wear, and enjoy it so that you can just keep it and hold it and see what it's going to be in 10 years. I would not buy any Rolex with the concept of converting it back into cash in anything less than 5 to 10 years. 5 to 10 years is what your game plan should be if you're going to buy a Rolex. And if you're going to keep a watch for 5 to 10 years, for God's sakes, peel the stickers off of it. Wear it. Enjoy it. Don't worry about it. Am I right about this? Let's get one more confirmation from the Magic 8 Ball. Well, Magic 8 Ball says, my sources say no, so I've been confirmed, I've been denied, and that leads me to the question of, what do you think is going on here? I think you're safe in Rolex, provided that you don't buy the dog of the range. And I even think that you're safe buying something kind of at the height of the market. But be aware, it could retrench before it starts its long march again upward. What do you guys think about this? I think Rolex is going to get ever more exclusive. I don't think this bubble is going to burst. You know, somebody in the comments accused me, and other YouTubers of constantly talking about Rolex on YouTube. This commenter accused me of actually jacking the market up to the point where it has affected shortages and prices, and that's just plain ridiculous. I wish I had that sort of influence. I can't even walk into any AD in the United States and go, hey, Goldberg, Mark Vlogs watches. Let's see the Daytona. Get it out of the safe. I might buy that. It doesn't work that way. I do nothing for them. I do less than nothing for them. Okay, so look, again, wrapping up, I think we got a shortage here that is not artificially created by collectors or even the gray marketeers. I think it is created by Rolex. This is a deliberate strategy to manipulate supply and demand. They are in control of the spigot and they have clamped it down. They have done that on purpose. The strategy is, in my opinion, the plan is to make the brand as economically significant as Patek with half the horology. How do they do that? Supply, demand, advertising, marketing. I'm going to wrap it up on this note. Promise, in the next 10 years, Rolex will spend over $1 billion in advertising creating that demand. This is Marc Goldberg. I've got mine. What do you think is going to happen to the prices? Goldberg. Peace out.